What is happening, guys? It's Charlie here from Pro Rec Soccer. Today we're doing another episode of The Gloves Are Off. And I'm delighted to say I'm joined by none other than Bristol City's Frankie Fielding. Frankie, how are you?
Jeez.
You okay?
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for welcoming us into your home.
You're welcome.
Very, very kind of you. So we're going to chat a little bit about your playing, your gloves, your future plans. But first of all, elephant in the room, what have you done to your arm?
Oh, no, yeah. Chipped a bit of a bone in my thumb and dislocated the same joint as well. So do injuries properly, don't mess around. And yeah, I'm on the road to recovery now and got a fresh cast on from this morning. So you come at a good time.
Oh, ideal.
It's not stinking. And, no, yeah, we're another 2 weeks with this bad boy on and getting a splint and be on our way.
So how did you do it?
Did it in a warm-up against Blackburn. Carried on playing and made it worse.
And did you know you did it at the time or not?
I was aware that I'd done something and it's just gradually been getting worse and I just needed to sort it out. It wasn't getting any better and it couldn't even hold a pen at the end. So I knew I needed to get something done and had the surgery and rocking and rolling.
It's quite unknown, but goalkeepers do have to play through injuries at times, don't they? Just because...
You always play with something, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't go a day without not feeling something or something's hurting, and I just honestly thought that was the case. Obviously wasn't the case, and I had the X-ray and the CT, and yeah, no, it is what it is, and every day now that I'm getting closer to fitness.
Is it frustrating to pick up an injury? Because at your timing, when you did get injured, you were back in the team, you're just a great record, you're on, so it's like 5 wins out of 7, you're playing really, really well, and then suddenly that happens and you find yourself out of the team, you find yourself injured. Is it annoying at that time?
Yeah, it's a bit lonely as well now. I'm only joking. It is what it is, isn't it? I mean, listen, it's annoying. I'm not going to beat myself up about it and could get the violin out and feel sorry for myself, but it's not going to do any good. But yeah, obviously it wasn't ideal. Didn't want it to go this way. It's happened now and I have to deal with it and get on with it. We were on a good run. I was really enjoying being back in the team and it's unfortunate, but I have to get on with it now.
So what's your story? So how did you become a goalkeeper?
Oh, I mean, you can ask my two brothers, you'd have been the best people to ask. But no, listen, we used to play a lot of football back in the day, back in the garden. It was like our Wembley, that backyard in Blackburn, and I used to get chucked in by the fence, put literally jumpers down for goalpost and crack on, and that's how it was. And then ended up playing in goal for school, got scouted by Blackburn, ended up in goal. I just really loved it, and just that's how it happened, really.
So once you first got a pair of gloves on, did you know that this is your position? You enjoy playing in goal?
Yeah, I mean, we used to always take turns and stuff, but I just ended up with my brothers. But I just ended up in goal more than them, and it was the old cliche. Put the gloves on. I just really enjoyed it, and we'd have gloves for. They were probably about 8 sizes too big for me, but there was always a pair of gloves, and I always enjoyed wearing them.
Can you remember your first pair of gloves?
There was Sondico. Sells is going to kill me, but no, there was Sondico, and they didn't have anything to them, to be honest. Right. They were black, red Sondico, sign on the front, on the index and the middle finger, and the grip was horrendous, to be honest. But you didn't really care at that age, did you?
Just love something.
You just loved something on your hands. It could have been anything on my hands.
Carry a bag.
Yeah, like absolutely.
Obviously, like your very first gloves to the gloves you wear now. We'll get on to sales a little bit later, but you've seen a huge advancement in goalkeeping gloves, surely, haven't you?
Yeah, it's mental. I mean, I think my first proper pair that I asked for when I was in the academy at Blackburn were Rouge, and they were like nothing I'd ever seen before, and that was probably about 10 or 11. And then, like, if you'd have said to me at 10 or 11 the gloves are like what they are now, I mean, I'd have probably laughed. But yeah, they seem to be getting better all the time, don't they? And technology's advancing. Like same with football boots, I suppose.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting lighter and lighter, and so wingers and strikers think they're quicker. But it is what it is. And yeah, they've just gone massively technical now, haven't they?
So what's some of your very first experiences of playing in goal, apart from with your brothers? What's some of your earliest memories?
So I remember my first ever academy game. Well, they used to call it School of Excellence back then.
Okay.
But back then we played at Leeds at Thorpe Arch, which was semi-built. I just could, proper first team training ground at like 9 years old. I couldn't believe it. We won Samba goals. We had Samba goals. We were that small.
Small, wow.
We were that small, yeah. And now I enjoyed the day. Got on the coach with the lads, with my dad, and went over to Leeds and just really enjoyed it. That's probably my first big memory. And another, like, I've constantly had no skin on my knees as well, because we used to train on proper AstroTurf, not like the AstroTurf
like
now.
these days, yeah.
And that was my first proper memories of being in goal.
So, like, from like those very first memories, was it like when you first joined the School of Excellence, you thought, right, I want to be a goalkeeper more than anything else in the world? Was it a case like that? Or was it just a case of you enjoy it and you just want to see sort of like where it went?
Like, in a cocky confidence way, I just knew I was going to do it. not do it as in like be professional. Well, no, yeah, I cockily knew like I was going to be a professional. I didn't know what level.
Yeah.
But whatever it took, I knew that's what I wanted to do, and I wouldn't stop until I wanted to be where I wanted to be.
That's quite a good like attitude to have sort of these days, isn't it? Especially the last bit where you said you don't want to stop until you are who you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm 30, I'm 31. I still don't think I think I'm coming into my peak years, but I don't think I'm like there yet. I'm looking at goalkeepers who are a bit older at me, who've like were roughly in the same age groups growing up, and I looked up to them, and they're playing in Premier League now, and they're doing really well, and they're coming like into their prime, and they're 2 or 3 years older than me, and I think that could be me in the next 2-3 years, and I'm really looking forward to it. But in that sense, I don't think I always want to get better, and I don't think I'm there yet.
Let's go out to a younger Frankie. Who did you look up to when you first started out?
Someone probably that I look at now, when I was a kid, I probably didn't appreciate him enough, was David Seaman. Okay. I used to think he was good, but when I look at him now, I think, wow, I got to watch him in his prime, but I didn't appreciate it at the time. But now I appreciate it. So probably David Seaman. Obviously, the goalkeeper at Blackburn when we won the league was Tim Flowers. I loved Tim Flowers as a kid. And then when I joined Blackburn at 16, Brad Frieda was the goalkeeper, and he was absolutely awesome for Blackburn. Probably played some of his best stuff for Blackburn. So I'd have to say them three, to be honest.
Is there a certain goalkeeper who you look up to now, or like who you really appreciate now?
Yeah, but there's one particular, Hugo Lloris, I really, really like. I like the way he plays. He's off the cuff, takes risks. I think the best goalkeepers are the risk takers. Edison's amazing the way he plays football, but obviously it's a lot easier for him because he's in the best team in the world, isn't he?
He's a different breed, isn't he?
Yeah. Have you seen anyone kick a ball that far?
No.
I don't know how he does it. So no, listen, I like Hugo Lloris go out a lot.
So what's it like for a lad born in Blackburn to sign for his hometown team?
Yeah, I mean, it meant everything to me at the time. It's all I ever wanted. As time goes on, you want different things, don't you? And I think I moved on at the right time. I went to Derby. I had no choice. I had a choice to leave. I didn't have to leave, but I just felt it was the right time. And obviously, it broke my heart at the time. But I wasn't going to tell anyone that at the time. But no, yeah, listen, everything happens for a reason. And without that stage in my career, I wouldn't have got where I am now. But yeah, like at 16, it was everything I wanted. Brilliant. Right in the middle of it.
Is being a goalkeeper tough well, obviously it is, but to just like check your body about time after time?
I think it's like anything, you get used to it. You're doing interviews and stuff like that. Probably tough at the start, but you get used to it and get more confidence. I think it's like anything in life. The more you do it, the better you get at it, I suppose, and the more you get used to it.
I'm not sure about me on interviews, but we'll let you decide. People often say, being a goalkeeper is like the least glamorous position on the pitch. They get so much blame. You're normally cold if it's like a particularly boring game, whatever. Is that true? Is it glamorous?
It's more glamorous than it's ever been, I reckon. I think that's because there's a lot of good goalies about now, high-profile goalies, and people are starting to see that how important having a good goalie is, more so than ever. I think when I was a kid, I think Peter Schmeichel was probably the one who started changing kids' heads, and people really wanted to play in goal when they saw him play. I think because of his style and his attitude, and he's screaming at people. I think people like the control aspect of it, and I think he was probably the mainstay why kids probably wanted to play in goal. And the old cliche is that kids always wanted to score goals or set goals up, but now I think kids want to keep the ball out the back of the net.
And there's goalkeepers like that now. Just have that sort of either that skill or like charisma to just like get kids involved with goalkeeping, like De Gea in the Premier League, for example, and Edison as well.
Yeah.
Like two goalkeepers, two different styles, but they still, kids look up to them a lot now these days.
I think so, and I'm glad you mentioned them two because I think they're completely different to one another. One plays like he's an outfielder, and the other one doesn't, and they're both very, very good goalkeepers in their own right. Two different styles, and kids look up to them now. And I think you can look at the two different aspects of goalkeeping. One's not. I'm not to say one's right and one's wrong. It's just a way that I think you should always sign a goalkeeper for how your team plays.
Yeah.
And both goalkeepers match how their teams play.
So, like, what's some of your best moments in goal?
Making my league debut at Bradford City for Wickham. Playing at Man City last season in the Carabao Cup was amazing, even though we got beat. People probably think, why did you enjoy that? It was because it's obviously not something we do every week. It was probably two outstanding moments so far in my career.
Tell us a little bit about that Carabao Cup run, so that was incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, played the first few rounds, and then Luke Steele played the ones in between, and then I got the nod against Man City the first leg. Unfortunately, I was injured for the second leg, but the first leg, just the whole build-up, flying up, and just experiencing the whole match day on I think it was a Wednesday night. It was just amazing. I mean, the whole thing. I mean, the lads were tremendous that night as well. We nearly nicked it, nearly got a result if it went for Aguero at the end. But, it just is what it is. And I thought the way we went there, the attitude that we went and played, and it surprised a few people.
What did the gaffer say to you at that time? Because going into a game where I think you were probably underdogs as well to sort of get something from that. But what does the gaffer say to most players in that situation?
I don't know. Probably the most nervous I've been for a game, and he did his team talk before we left the hotel, and he just had 10 minutes with us, and he was showing us Man City's weaknesses, and we were like. I think he even started laughing when he started showing us the video. But he's like, no, genuinely, just watch the video. Take the bits that I want you to take out of the video, and it worked on the night. To be fair, it nearly came off, but I think he tactically on the night he got it so right.
You also mentioned your league debut there. Tell us about that.
No, I just had a trial on the pitch against Bradford City. Two of the keepers at Wickham got injured in the same week. Horrendous injuries as well. One broke his leg and one did his cruciate, and so they needed two goalkeepers, and me and another lad had a trial on the pitch because it happened right at the end of the week. I drove over to Bradford and ended up having the trial on the pitch on the day of the game, and ended up playing. Got the nod and we won 1-0.
Have you ever seen that happen before, trial on the pitch?
No, I don't think so. I don't think anyone's ever said that before. But I mean, I went from playing against 300, crowd of 300 people to 15,000 at Bradford. So it was a just unbelievable experience that day, and Mum was there as well to watch it. So it was I loved the day. Whole day was amazing.
What's it like to know that it's pretty much a last minute sort of thing between you and another player, almost head to head to see who would take the jersey?
Yeah, it was weird because obviously I knew the kid. He was playing for Bolton, Polish lad, and it was weird. I mean, he's so naive as a kid, and you don't think I just wanted to play, and I knew, again, my confidence, without sounding arrogant, I knew I was going to play at some point if I wasn't going to play that day. So I just had that kind of mentality, and I think you can always end up showing how good you are at some point, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. So that's some of your own personal best moments. What about some of your worst moments in goal?
Yeah, I mean, I lost my dad on the Monday unexpectedly, and then I was at Wickham then, the same season. And I played Stockport on the Saturday, and we lost 6-0, and it was just an horrendous experience, obviously. Just wanted the ground to swallow me up. But, the week after, we won 2-0 against Morecambe, and we were in a playoff push then, and we got in the playoffs at the end of the year. So it just goes to show you the highs and lows. I went from the lowest of the low on the Saturday, having lost my dad on the Monday, and then winning the week after. It's just a funny old game, isn't it?
Is it important to have those lows so you can sort of appreciate those highs, but also to help sort of build character as well?
I think, like I say, you got to go through it, haven't you? I mean, you've got to go through these instances, and just for your own experience, and getting a bit older and a bit wiser now, and I'm starting to help the younger ones, and without them experiences, how can you help the younger ones? It's impossible. And I think you have to go through it through a brick wall, and and you come out the other side better, don't you?
We just spoke about like some of your highs and lows there. You almost experienced one of your all-time sort of high, I guess, as a goalkeeper. And that's almost scoring the goal. It was just before it was actually your final game where you got casted up, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Against Wolves in the FA Cup, John Ruddy.
Oh, he made a great save, to be fair, didn't he? Now, but
90th
it just wouldn't fall for me. Like, it seemed to take an eternity to come down, and there's a player behind me who's just kind of put me off a bit as well, and he's made a great save, to be fair, and I think I would have been talking about that for about 10 years if that had gone in.
If that did go in, did you have like a celebration planned?
No, I wouldn't have had a clue what to do. I just can't believe it fell to me, and I got managed to contact, and he just made a great save, didn't he?
Did you have a little word with him afterwards or not?
No, I walked straight in. He brought me out. If you're watching him, John, you brought me out.
It's not often to see a goalkeeper score, is it?
No, I don't even know when the last time was, but man, honestly, if that had gone in, I don't even know what I would have done.
It is a strange sight to see goalkeepers score because it's normally just their celebrations afterwards. They
don't know what to do, do they?
They don't know what to do. I think it was actually Edison who said like his goal last season was to score a goal, and he didn't do it last season, so he's hoping to do it this season.
Oh, he actually said that, did he?
Yeah.
He's trying to score.
Yeah.
So he probably knows what his goal celebration is going to be because he's probably thought about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Asmi has scored before. Asmi Berkovic has scored before, and he kind of didn't know what to do either. So I don't know. If Edison scores and he has a celebration plan, then we know he's meant it.
We'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've played for a number of clubs in your time. Do you have a particular favourite ground to play in, apart from Ashton Gate, obviously?
Oh, that's a good question. Ashton Gate's amazing now. Completely changed from when I first come. I enjoyed playing at Norwich the other week. I think that's a proper closed ground and it was full. Played at Forest as well. That was a full house that day. That's an old ground and a good ground to play at. I think there's loads of good grounds in the Championship now as well. I'd probably say Forest because I've had some good highs and good lows there. I got sent off after 60 seconds once in a Derby Forest game, and
talk to us about that.
I didn't even have a shower. Just got sent off straight from the goal. It went from the centre kick and went back to the defender. Defender kicked it along the striker, went through, and I fouled him and got sent off. Wouldn't be a sending off now with the rule change and whatnot, but nah. And then obviously I've had some really good results there for Derby and for City. Saved a penalty there last year as well, and had a good result there this season as well. So yeah, I'd probably say Forest sticks out. It's a good ground.
What are those Forest Derby games like?
Yeah, they're intense. So, especially if there's a build-up all week, Sometimes there'll be a Tuesday game. You're having a game on a Saturday, so you haven't got really enough time to think about the Tuesday game. And now they're good games, and they don't really like each other, them two sets of fans.
Is it in terms of atmosphere-wise, is it one of the best you've played in?
Yeah. I played against Swansea the other week for Bristol City as well, and that was really intense. It was kicking off in the crowd and all sorts, which I don't condone. Stay in your seat, but listen, it's they're intense games, they are, and especially if there's a week leading up to it, it's a good crack, and I really enjoy them games.
Do you like to play in those big atmospheres, or do you prefer it nice and quiet just so you can concentrate?
Nah, I think you want to play in the full stadiums, don't you? You can't hear anything anyway. It's when you're at the Erie grounds and there's only not many fans there, you can hear every word. It's when there's a full house, you can't hear anything, and you want to play in the full houses. They're the big games, that's what you train for all week, and playing the big games.
What's some of the worst abuse you've ever had shouted at you, or some of the funniest?
The usual, you fat person, even though I'm not that fat, I must state. Played at Blackburn the other week, and last season when the season they went down in the Championship, we drew 1-1 right at the end of the season, and because obviously we drew, I turned round to the Blackburn end, which is the end that I've always played at. I sat there as a fan, and they all clapped me off the pitch, which was a nice touch. But because we won this year 1-0, I didn't get turned round. I was expecting a clap, maybe because I am from Blackburn, and didn't go down too well, to be honest.
It was another hand signal.
Yeah, it was another few hand signals that I wouldn't condone at a football ground.
So what's some of the worst grounds you've ever played at?
Stockport's ground I have a bad memory of. We got beat 6-0. Colchester's ground I have a bad memory of. Never had a result there. The new one, never had a result there. For love the money. So I don't have good experiences at them two grounds.
So let's chat a little bit about your gloves now. Why Sal's?
I just like the quality of the glove. I think if you try it as a goalkeeper, I don't think you'll be disappointed, and I don't think you'll go anywhere else.
You're currently wearing Total Contacts.
Yeah.
What is it about that cut what you like?
I don't know. I always say to Selzy, it always takes me like a couple of weeks to get used to a new glove, so a new design, or even though it's the same cut, I don't know if it's a mental thing or what. I don't know. But I don't know what it is. It's just I think when you try something and you like it, you just stick with it. So I've always stuck with it. It always feels good on my hands, and I've ended up with the Total Contact and just stayed with that. I think once you try the glove, you'll never not wear the glove.
What's like the one thing which you like about it the most?
Me personally, it's the first glove that I've had for a long time that I can wear back to back. So I have confidence in it that I can play for 3 or 4 games with the same pair if I look after him afterwards. So I always go in the shower afterwards and clean him. Straight after training or whatever, me and the young lad at Bristol City, Max, we can go 3-4 weeks, we're wearing the same pair for training. I think the quality of them, that goes to show that the good of the quality is. And that's the first glove that I felt that I could do that and trust it.
So before Sal's, how often would you change your gloves?
Pretty much every other game.
Every other game?
Yeah.
So it must be important to have that sort of confidence in you.
Yeah, I think I do like the feel of a new glove as well, without sounding, OCD or whatever. But I do like the feel of a new glove. But if you look after the Sel's gloves, I think they last for ages. Which is, kids these days, they're so expensive. Like football's just so expensive in general now. Football boots and gloves, so you don't want the added cost. And I don't know. I feel like I've got a lot of trust in the glove, and I feel like they last a lot longer than any other glove that I've had before.
When you first, picked up a pair of Sal's, obviously tried them on, did you know that was a glove which you'd be interested in straight from the get-go?
Yeah, I think, I know it sounds weird, but obviously you look at the colours and all that as well. It's like if you feel comfortable in it, then you're going to wear it, aren't you? And I tried them on and just loved them. Like I said, I don't know, the feeling and the quality of them is just second to none, so that's probably why I've stuck with Total Contact as well.
You still got years left playing, but looking ahead to the future, do you have any sort of plan set in stone what you want to be, or are you still open to discussion, see what the future holds?
Yeah, never say never. I'm kind of that kind of guy. Do anything after football. I want to stay in football, preferably. I've done my UEFA B badge already. Probably going to do my A next year and look towards doing that. But at the same time, I still want to be a footballer, and this season's been blighted by injury. But I think if you're going to have a successful career, you're going to have years like that. And unfortunately, I've had it this year. I didn't want it. I didn't plan for it. It just happened. And no, I still think I've got plenty of game time left in me, and I still feel like I'm getting better. And no, listen, I want to be in the coaching side of it when I finish, I think, and help others. That's how I think coaches should be.
Okay, so Frankie, final question. I want you to make a little bit of a bold prediction now. In 5 years' time, who do you think is going to be the best goalkeeper in the world?
Matt, in 5 years' time in the world? Oh, great question. Come out with some bells today. 5 years' time. Who's going to be the best goalkeeper in the world?
Tell you what, I reckon it'll be Gianluigi Donnarumma.
You reckon?
I reckon so, yeah. I reckon he's going to have a...
Do you think in 5 years' time he'll be playing in the Premier League?
It doesn't have to be a Premier League. It could be,
He's at Napoli got a really, really good goalkeeper at the minute as well, a young one.
Okay.
Oh, could be one of them too.
Tricky, isn't it?
It's a hard question. It's a very hard question. I don't even know that many good young goalies anymore. 23-ish, 24-ish.
You've got Pickford, you've got Pope as well.
They'll still be regulars in the Premier League, aren't they, in 5 years' time? Definitely. That's a guarantee. I think the guy that you just mentioned, AC Milan, will probably be the best in the world, won't he?
I think so, yeah.
Good knowledge. To
just play, like that many games for your country and still be so young, it's scary.
Edison's still really young. 24, 25.
nothing, is he?
He could be the best
Yeah.
if he's not had enough and wanted to go back somewhere. But yeah, no, you're probably right about the AC Milan lad.
We'll bank on that. So that's his prediction. Frankie, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much again.
Thank you very much for
Cheers,
the left
mate.
hand. Thanks, mate.
Okay, guys, so that is that. I've been Charlie here from Pro Direct Soccer. If you enjoy this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let's see you for the next one.